Good morning, everyone. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to do a science lab. Normally, we'd be doing this lab in the lab. Unfortunately, we can't. So what I've done is I've sourced out some YouTube videos showing you the different things that you would be doing. And so you'll watch those and you can complete the lab that way. Now, we've been talking about physical and chemical changes. And just as a reminder, physical changes are changes in the physical makeup of something. We don't get anything new. So we rip a piece of paper in half, we it's physically been changed, but it's still paper. We melt an ice cube. Its state has changed. Physically it's gone from a solid to a liquid, but it's still H2O molecules. We don't have anything new. If I was to take a piece of paper and color it red with a crayon, I've changed it, but we don't have anything new. We just have waxy crayon on top of paper. A chemical changes when you get something new. You take chlorine and you take sodium. One is a gas or a liquid. One is a metal. When they react with each other, you get table salt. That's something new. There's no chlorine left. There's no sodium left. It's something new. When a nail the iron in a nail reacts with the oxygen in the air and we get rust, we have something new. That oxygen atom and the iron atoms, they react. They are now gone. We have something new. And sometimes we can see that something new, so we can see the rust. Other times we look for indicators that a chemical change has taken place. So we do have our five look fors for a chemical change. So does it have a new color? Does it have a new odor? Is heat or light given off? Do we see bubbles? And if we mix two liquids together and suddenly we have a solid, that's called a precipitate. And that's a chemical change as well. So these are the things that you're going to be looking for. You're going to look to see if a chemical change has taken place based on those look fors and based on if you see something new. If you don't see evidence of a chemical change, then in all likelihood it's a physical change. So in this lab, you are going to do uh, four experiments. You're going to mix four things. You're going to do four separate mixtures, I suppose. And you're going to see if it's just a physical change takes place, or you're going to let me know if a chemical change takes place and what evidence there was. So the materials in this lab: sodium hydroxide, phenolphthalein, a test tube rack and test tubes, iron chloride, copper sulfate, iodine, hydrochloric acid, and magnesium. So part one. And for each of these four parts, there is um, a YouTube video that goes with it. So you will watch the YouTube video and then you can record your observations. Now, some of these YouTube videos aren't perfect in that the person who made the YouTube video may be talking about some other things. No biggie. You can kind of ignore some of that dialogue. And you're just interested in seeing what happens when these chemicals are actually mixed together, trying to see if there's a physical or a chemical change. And then those changes you will record down here in the observation chart. So in part one, uh, you'll actually see that the person in the video, I believe, put some sodium hydroxide into a test tube. It's a clear, colorless liquid. It looks like water. And then they'll add some phenolphthalein to it. And a change is going to take place. Is that a physical change or a chemical change? And phenolphthalein, once again, it's a clear, colorless liquid as well. So you're going to record those observations. And then the second part of this is hydrochloric acid is going to get introduced to your previous uh, test tube, and another change should take place. So you're going to record that as well. In part two, you're going to take some magnesium. Magnesium is a soft silvery metal. And you're going to add hydrochloric acid to it. And once again, this will be in the second YouTube video, or if they're not posted in a particular order, it'll be in one of the videos. Part 3, you're going to take copper sulfate. It's a greenish, bluish powder, and water is going to get added to it. And when it says here to swirl, basically that means you are going to stir. And the final experiment, iron chloride, and you're going to mix some sodium hydroxide with that as well and record your results. So remember, in all 4 of these parts, you are looking to see if a physical change has taken place and what that physical change is, or if a chemical change has taken place and what that chemical change is. And then you'll complete these discussion questions. So in part 1, was it a physical or chemical change, and what evidence did you see? So you might say, I saw a color change, or I did not see any chemical change. I think it's a physical change because this happened. So just provide your evidence of why you think it's physical or chemical. Likewise, for questions 2, 3, and 4, same scoop. Let me know if it's physical or chemical and why you think that. And yep, make sure you clean up everything when you're done. So when you're done this, please submit it to your portfolio. Some of you have tried to submit things on Google Docs. Please don't do that. They seem to be password protected and I can't get to them. A lot of you have been able to open up the Word document and type right in it and then save it as a file. That's awesome. A couple of you have had difficulty with that and you've just taken a picture of your work, and that's fine as well, as long as you upload it to me somehow so I can look over it for you. All right, everyone, have a great day.